the World's Fair.
World's Fair, 1962, in Seattle.
Yeah.
A machine called the Bubbleator, and it was a giant glass dome that must have been about the size of this room, and about 100 people got ushered into it, and a female robot voice gave them very precise instructions about what to do, and then they started playing this soundtrack, and the Bubbleator basically sort of went through the whole of the arena of the World's Fair. And every time it hit a new zone, like the Crystal Maze or something, it would start a new song, which was introduced by a very kind of sexy robot.
Sexy robot.
And this amazing, like, sinister but really filmic and really lush orchestral kind of music would play, and it's great, and it's on the internet.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's good.
So we'll start, I think. Like, I met you, the first time I interviewed you was in this pub, like 10 yards away, 6 years ago, just before your first ever album. They both laugh. How do you feel that OLO Worms has evolved since then?
You're going to have to lean in a bit, James.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because
It's not that.
how's it evolved?
It was all fine until everyone started getting married, is probably what you'd say.
No, until we went to the vote. I used to. So it went to the. No, that's good. I don't know if it has evolved. Revolved. No. I don't know if it has evolved, because I don't think it got anywhere. Like, it's not like a kind of start and an end point. So it's not like an overall plan. So it's not like.
I mean, even
yeah. So how's it evolved? I guess I think we have. I don't know. I probably like the fact I don't know. That's probably, I think, is a good way of thinking. The good way to think about it is not actually to think about it, because if you think about it, then you start going, oh, we used to do that, and now we're doing this. Oh, we should go back to that, or what can we do next? I think you should just be like, soak in what's you're thinking at the time, and then respond to it in some way. But obviously, be careful. You don't want to repeat yourself. So
it sounds to me like an important part of the way you do it is willfully to not think about it too much.
Yeah, I think the best stuff happens when you do stuff subconsciously, and all the first instincts are always the best. The best way forward is the best way forward.
I think we've got better.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what that kind of suggests that we're aiming at something, but I think we've got, in terms of making stuff.
Yeah,
I think
the practical, physical processes by which you make the noises you make.
Yeah, I think the quality of stuff has improved. I think the way stuff looks and our output's got better as we've gone on, and that's what you want, really, from a creative point of view.
So correct me now, I'm going to say some facts that might not be right. If they're not, then tell me. OLO started as an online radio station. Before it was really a band.
No, it was never a band. So it started with more of an idea of like just doing something. Didn't deliberately start as a radio station. It's me, Mark, and Gareth, and Mark, and Matt wanted to do something. Well, I did, and then asked those guys, and so then it's kind of like. So then it became the radio station, radio thing, and I mean, always in the back of my head, we thought, one day it'd be cool to actually start making music or making something. So that's ticking along while we were thinking, which is quite good to sort of get kind of, because I think all our music has kind of got a sort of kind of mixed radio kind of feel to it, or it has done.
Yeah.
It might not in the future, but so far we've kind of liked to sort of blend things, or sort of create like a radio feel. I don't know, maybe it doesn't, or a mix feel, but
a mix feel, I think.
But that phrase isn't good, is it? A mix feel.
No.
But you know what I mean, like, it's kind of...
No, I agree, but the stream of consciousness from one thing to the next.
Yeah, it's sort of like, not...
It's a journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
A journey.
That's the word, yeah.
Like the X Factor. No, but you start at point A and you end up at point Z, and you don't quite know how you got there.
Well, I think we're coming back to what I was saying earlier, is that for a lot of bands, there's definitely an idea. They'll go, okay, we're going to put out a single, then we're going to put out an album, then we're going to go on tour, then we're going to do a fashion shoot, then it's kind of so that we'd love to have done a fashion shoot. We'd love to have done all those things in order, but we've done it all in the wrong order, starting a radio station, then made an album, then played our first live gig. So we've kind of always done stuff in the wrong order, and probably the way that is slightly unconventional, not on purpose to be difficult, but just the way it's happened. Yeah. But I think it's like the idea of what Gareth was saying about Journey is right, because it's sort of like we've not got any set plans, we just have to go with the point we are in the journey. We're acting to the things that are going on around us, and what we're thinking of at that time is partly to do what we're thinking about doing, coming up next year, is that not to sort of stay put on this one album which we've done, which we probably should have promoted more, but that's not what we're about. We want to we're not interested in doing nothing against gigs up north. I was gonna say just go, but just crack on and make more stuff, because we might not have much time, and we just got to do as much as we can while we can, and just keep it fresh and keep changing. Hopefully we can. There's no guarantee, but the idea is to keep doing different things.
Okay. The other thing I want to set the record straight on is the different...
My affair with
Jennifer Aniston. All the different...
it's ongoing.
The different limited edition funny packaging releases that you've done. Can you remember all of those?
Yeah. We've done loads of stuff. Right at the beginning we did Cotton Buds.
Which was briefly explained.
That came with... a B-sides album. Actually, naturally that's not. We've always packed stuff full of things, but they were supposed to be action figures. These Cotton Bud action figures.
Okay. Cotton Bud action figures.
Yeah. But we've done recently, not in this order, but we've done coffins, image cubes, pot of earth, 3D. Portrait paintings with the
three-dimensional notes you have to cut off to get the music.
We've done...
I read it online and I thought that must be untrue.
Hidden vinyl.
What does that mean?
Well, just hidden vinyl in shop.
Record store.
Second-hand vinyl. And what else have we done? The annual.
Yeah.
I'm working on a comic. And
we launched one into the sea as well.
Oh yeah, we put one in a milk bottle in the sea. That was
on a USB stick.
Yeah, that was our album. That was the leak. That was the album leak. We leaked it a couple of weeks before we put it out into the sea, and
it was picked up by Radio Caroline.
Yeah, John Peel back in the 1950s or whatever.
I'm sure there's Jimmy Savile jokes.
Yeah. And I think that's everything, but I've got a feeling there have been other little bits and bobs that I can't remember.
Yeah.
We've got one planned. We've got one. Basically, all these things are kind of like a collection around the album from the beginning when we started thinking about the album to the end of this year when we'll kind of conclude it.
By the album, you mean the album?
Yeah. So at the end of this year, hopefully we're aiming to sort of conclude it. And the idea is, well, it wasn't necessarily the idea at the start, but it's become the sort of thing, is that all these things are like an auction lot, like a collection, like the Yizzo collection or whatever. And I like the idea that someone's got them all, but they haven't, obviously.
Oh no, baby
doll, baby doll as well.
Yeah. Was that real?
Barnyard babies. Alien Strange
babies with a umbilical cord USB.
Yeah.
See, I got that mixed up before. I thought I was something that's
we've got one more. So basically, there's the set that no one will ever have, obviously, but like it'd be quite funny one day to think that we'll see that, like, I might go find out who's got everything when I'm like 60 and go and collect it all back. Brilliant, something to retire with, something to do in retirement. So yeah, there's that set, and then that is like, that was that time, because I thought it was really important that we did things like that now, because of the way things were changing and still are changing, because, you know, a lot of people are doing that kind of thing now, but that is going to become so boring soon. It's kind of probably already boring, I don't know, for a lot of people. So I think we'll move on from that. But that we wanted, like, this collection, right? Then we move on and do something. Because we could.
Yard is open. I always wanted to say that. I'm going to ask some really basic questions.
Go on, that's fine, yeah.
Why is it called that?
Okay, right, the reason it's called that is because it's kind of like, I guess it's like almost it's like the beginning of something, and it also reflects on our, like, our opinion, our sort of attitude to making artwork or music, that, you know, anything goes.
It's a free for all.
Yeah, it's free for all. And for some reason, like, if you're getting really kind of, I mean, first time I saw it, I was delivering olives and I saw the sign in a it was actually a tobacco factory, and I just thought it was such a great title on a sign. I just really liked the sign, and from that point onwards I always imagined us with, like, signs, sort of
gold signs.
What they call wooden
pitchfork.
Yeah, sorry.
Pitchforks, the kind of placards,
signs,
gold signs, golf sales,
sort of like that, and then behind it, then loads of noise and stuff going on, like, sort of just that's our image. There's one sign. There's no, like, band. It's just like a pitchfork sign, and that's it. And it's then just loads of, like, everything we seem to do, like, because I think we decided that title even before, like, we got the songs finished, like, any of the songs finished or anything. So from that point onwards, like, and then loads of things crept into, like, the lyrics, and, like, that informed what me or Gareth or whoever wrote the lyrics on that. And then it kind of, I think, like, I don't know, I just kept thinking, like, I think there was one point particularly when we were doing the first song on the album, like, Barnyard, was like, I just kept thinking of old farmers in the past who found babies in, like, in their farmyards, and it was kind of like, they just thought, I'll just let them loose, kind of thing, run around in cornfields and stuff like that. And it was like that kind of, which is kind of a bit of the Barnyard sort of thing, with the lyrics and stuff, and it's I don't know, it all kind of worked perfectly, and I think it's, like, the best sort of thing we've ever done, like, just to come up with that title. In a way, it would have been quite funny not to make any music, just, like, do something, like, I'm really proud of, like, that title, and the fact it's kind of like, it's a kind of an image or something. And definitely with the artwork, it was like, it had to be corn in there, it had to be, like, sort of a sense of, like, things not going very well, like the tipping over of the sack, you know, like the falling off. So I guess that's pretty much the story of that. But there's other things, yeah.
If it's about anything, what's it about? The garage shoot.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, go on.
It doesn't have to be, maybe it isn't.
No, it is. There's themes that run through it. I can't think of a nice quote.
I don't think
I know. It's about, I think, what was quite interesting, there was a review by a blogger, and it was like a preview to the album, and it was really long, and it was really kind of stream of consciousness writing, because obviously with blogs.
It was his first play.
Yeah, and obviously with blogs, there's no
play.
editing, there's no editor, there's no kind of tightening up of anything. And he was just saying stuff like it's like hearing all of your childhood and your teenage years, kind of in terms of popular culture, in terms of inhibitions and loves and interests and curiosity all at the same time, all at once. And I kind of think that's kind of what it's about. It's about us as four people kind of who have similarities, kind of trying to get all this stuff in all at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. I would say it. And I thought of this a long time ago, that it is kind of like I think if it would have been, I think our age comes into it a bit, because I think because we're sort of late 20s, we were late 20s when we started, it did feel like a kind of like, sort of, for me anyway, like the whole time felt like the end of a certain period, and so like that was quite cool, like that it ended and you pulled the others open, and then right from now at this point onwards things are going to be different, and it's like, and then I guess included in that, for me anyway, personally, with some of the lyrics I wrote and stuff like that, it was kind of like problems and, you know, just crap, general life crap. So it's kind of like we're sort of saying all those songs can include all those nastiness or bits and things you don't like about the country or the way things are going or your life, and then from the moment that it's finished and it's released, then that yard is open. It's kind of like, then it's the new,
like packing up all your troubles in an old kit bag.
I read
I
read something recently which says your adolescence is now beginning to end at the end of your 20s, and I would say if it sounds like anything, it sounds like the end of all of her adolescence.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good point, and it's kind of that.
That's what.
Plus,
it's a coming of age album. Who'd have known it?
But it's that getting all that Flight of the Navigator stuff out. Yeah. It's
what's wrong with Flight of the Navigator?
Nothing.
No, really, it's my favourite film.
Come on, I love
it. There's a sample in there from Flight of the Navigator. There's a lot of samples from like kids stuff, like there's a lot of references to Bambi and cartoons, because I think it was kind of like
there's a kind of skewed nostalgia somewhere.
Yeah, and the other thing to point out is that, like, I think I wanted it, and I think we all did, is kind of to have like a very kind of like it's kind of like almost like a hippie-ish kind of thing, where it's like peace and love, and the world is together as one kind of thing. You know, because we wanted to have lots of different people from different countries on there, and like we've got Itchy, we've got Anna, who's American, we've got Francois, and I'm sure there's other people. Kenny Scottish. You know, we wanted to build up like a little sort of guest list of people from different countries. That was the idea. We did kind of do it to a point. Yeah, Francois. Yeah. And we did that to a point, but it would have been, I guess, like, it could have been more than that, but the idea was like to sort of say, because I think we want to deliberately make something that isn't like, I don't know, a lot of it is to do with, for me anyway, it's like hatred of being, well, not hatred, love-hate being English. Like, that was what Back from England was about, like, kind of like how much I hate it, because there's so many, like, we're just horrible people. Not horrible people, but we've got loads of problems, and but at the same time, like, times when I've been abroad, I just know so much that I am 100% like just I am, you know, who I am, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so and it's that kind of idea is like, I guess we wanted to do this sort of big sort of like, oh, you know, yeah, the world thing. But it's funny that we tried to do that, but in every review they've all said it's so British. It's funny. Like the Wicker Man, or like it's like, or it's got such a typically British feel, and like we deliberately tried not to be British and trying not to be like a British guitar band. But then by doing that, I guess it's kind of a different Britain to that kind of Britain. It's kind of like, I guess a lot of people have said it's kind of similar to, like, reminds them of like stuff that is like I don't know, yeah. And I also got the feel like a lot of old British kind of bands and imagery, like from sort of like not your typical ones from the 60s, but like kind of. I love all that artwork from that time, so that kind of crept in, I think, in a lot of things we did. Because that's the thing, we say we're not a band, or we don't want to be a band, but at the end of the day, kind of are, but it's just like not wanting.
But it's
to,
the idea.
Not wanting
the
to,
idea of the band.
Yeah,
the, kind of the way that, because I don't think they're real, up until, I don't know. It feels like until the 90s there wasn't the kind of the idea of the band. You know,
it's a horrible idea now. It's a really horrible idea. We all agree on this. 100%. There's this. It's a really
male, chauvinistic, bigoted, exclusive of anything else, kind of laddism and kind of, we're a band, you know, where we play guitars. You know,
it's not. It's
just the total nonsense. And it's never been relevant to anything. And it's never been interesting. And it's all of the bands who've ever been any good have not been that type of thing.
Oh, just got to.
It's just interesting people doing stuff together.
And
that's a real adolescent rant.
No, but I agree. I think we're all in the same boat. It's like that. I guess that's probably informed like how the album's turned out more than anything. Is that how we didn't want it to be like, you know, like sort of. And even to a point like when we were submitting it to Fence or other people, and they'd kind of go, no, you shouldn't really have a really long track at the beginning that doesn't really hit you. Well, yeah, that's why we didn't do that, because we didn't want that kind of album to be, you know, like I'll put your best song on number 1, then you have another good one at number 3 or 4, then another good one at 7. You know, so and
because that's been
and
the constant.
It's
thing,
just trying. I hate. I don't want us to fall into cliches and sort of. You know, it's really hard predicting that because you never know what might happen. We might do that next. Maybe that'll be the thing. But just doing our best to try, even if it's not successful, to try and look at things differently, basically.
But it's not trying. It's just sticking to our guns. Isn't it? It's just not. It's not trying to do things differently. I think because we get the wacky tag a lot, and we get the kind of being peculiar for peculiar's sake, and I don't think we've ever been peculiar for peculiar's sake. It's just trying to do things in a way that we want to do them.
That said, though, the album is quite hard. You know, it's quite peculiar. Well, no, I mean, it's hard to explain it, but
it doesn't sound as good as it should.
No, I don't mean that. I think it sounds brilliant. I think it sounds brilliant, but I think it's quite bonkers. I like that the man with a haircut. I mean, what the fuck are you going on about?
Oh, I'll tell you about that if you want. Well, that kind of relates to like that song particularly is about like bands and, you know, rock stars and stuff, like feel like they have to act a certain way. Why not just have a haircut instead of doing something silly, or why not sing in a ridiculous voice?
Belittling mental illness, basically.
No, yeah. But like, yeah, maybe it is a little bit odd. I guess it's hard for the people, as us, the people who've done it, to kind of like look at it. From the outside point of view. But what Gareth said is true. Is that
what I mean is there aren't songs whose sort of meaning or underlying sentiment is necessarily clear. It's refracted through layers of processing and the kind of like you were saying, we're just doing our own thing without that without feeling that need to sort of further explain what that thing is.
Well, that's the good thing about like things can. You can hopefully people might enjoy it in a few years' time, and then they'll still be sort of thinking about it. All the best films I've ever loved are the ones where I'm like still thinking about them now, and we're going, "What was that scene all about?" I still don't understand it. I love it. There's something about it, but I just can't.
And you don't get it first time, and you watch it again, and you only get a new thing every time you see it.
Yeah, and I guess that's the.
Not that I think we've made that.
No. Yeah, let's be clear. It's definitely not like I think we will do better, but I just think I'm really proud of the fact that as a sort of first proper album, it's a bit of a kind of riddle or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I think we'll be a lot clear in everything we do now. Well, not definitely, but I think we're thinking about anyway, sort of being a bit more. Hopefully, actually, I don't know what we'll do next, so it's better not to say that. But
there's a single coming out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's sort of a single. I guess you call it a single. It's like a lead track, another track that we're kind of promoting.
Yeah.
And there will be, so that will come with some kind of physical object.
Do you know the date?
Can we just say December?
Yeah.
Because at the moment it's kind of. Yeah. But there's no one to really. It's just for us to sort of say. But it would be really nice. I think we all want to wrap it up at the end of the year and start. We've already started started making music for next year.
And what might the next cycle? Gareth talks about the end of this cycle and the start of a new cycle.
Yeah.
Which I quite like the sort of grand.
Yeah.
What Wagnerian air. So what might the next cycle be?
Not been decided really.
I think there's a lot of this cycle started quite a long time ago and took a long time to complete. So I think the intention is to have for everything to get a bit more spontaneous, a bit more loosey, and a bit more kind of. Because up until about 6 months ago, I've been listening to a lot of kind of Miley Cyrus. No, a lot of stuff which was quite loose and recorded instantaneously and kind of it happened, it was recorded, it got released, nobody ever thought about it again other than after the event. And I don't think that will ever suit us, because I don't think any of us are. I don't think we're that type of musical thing, but I kind of want it to be certainly a lot less protracted than this has been.
Right.
If that makes sense. I'd want it to be more instantaneous and more. Okay, and we've all said it. Some of the best stuff we've ever done, nobody will ever hear because. We ended up recording it on a phone, and it was a setting on a keyboard that we never knew what it was. And I'd much rather go down the road of recording everything, which James will pillory me for later. But actually setting up, recording, editing bits together, and going down that road, as opposed to constant multi-tracking, and that's really nerdy, but it's really boring. But. It's just much looser, much more freeform, much more kind of instantaneous.
But that's one project.
Yeah.
There's various ideas of a few different things that we're going to do, but they're all going to be just done. They're going to be done. They're not going to be like pondered over for too long.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a few different things and. I think we met up the other week. We're all really excited about like starting again. It feels like another fresh start, so that's cool. And and it's the same with the sort of artwork and the everything that goes with it, the videos and anything we make. That it might be something. I don't know what it is, but I know I don't want to do the same thing as what we did this year.
Even the way back to the dream thing that you can't. Once you've woken up from one, you can never go back into it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing that strikes me, you just mentioned the artwork, and I realised I haven't talked at all about that, but all the things you do are kind of they've got this whirl of other creativity around them. So there's the sounds, and there's the physical release, and then there's all the kind of artwork that you produce around that.
Yeah.
That kind of builds into a strange kind of self-fueling.
Yeah.
I can't think of the right noun, but you know, it's an entity.
Yeah.
Rather than like, this is the artwork, this is the artwork, and it's folded around it.
Yeah.
These are the posters for the gigs. Like they're usually quite separate kind of things produced in a very formulaic, linear way. And it doesn't seem to work like that.
Well, I think the thing is,
it's non-linear.
There's kind of in lieu of being able to make a film, isn't it? Because like, if you could make a film, then that would encompass everything that you do and all the ideas that we had in one set, because it would start and 90 minutes later it would end.
Yeah.
And you could do everything visual and everything sonically and everything all in the same space. Yeah. But it's kind of
that's going to happen. It'll happen one day, but it kind of might take a long time. But I think the thing with what you're sort of saying is that we're not. We're a group of people that are constantly thinking about things, and maybe sometimes overthinking, and so that everything I think about or do, I like to sort of somehow get that out there, and whether or not that's a good, it might be more productive if I stored it and actually properly made something, but like to sort of kind of just I think sometimes, I think I said it before when we were talking about that, sometimes a thing might be like a scribble on a bit of paper that I do. It's still bits of doodles I've done in like 3 seconds that I think are better than a song on our album. You know, like I did do a quick drawing of a guy doing a high jump, but I still think it's the best thing I've ever done. And that was done so, like, without me looking at the page or even thinking about it, and I still love that. Like, maybe I'm just so pretentious, but I think, like, I've talked about being pretentious before, but I think being pretentious is really good, is actually sometimes a really good thing. And
I don't think it's a different mentioned.
Yeah, well,
what does it even know?
Yeah, well,
so
maybe
it doesn't mean anything.
No, okay. Well, I don't know, but it's kind of like, so I guess it's just like, it's just like, we're not like go, oh, we've done a single, oh, we better do some artwork, oh, we better do that, oh, what are we going to do? It's like there's always a thing going on, so at any point you can just delve in, just pick it out for, you know, the thing. I don't know.
I think we've got a really weird crossover of abilities.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things, because I know and have known so many people who make really brilliant music who have absolutely no idea when it comes to how they put it out or how they visually present it. And luckily, I've never had to worry about that. Yeah, I make terrible music, but I've never had to worry about how it will look visually, because it will always look really good.
Or
terrible.
I could say the other thing about the music, because I can't make music, so it kind of, that, you know...
It's a nice...
Yeah,
we've always had a nice kind of crossover of skills, and whenever we've had an idea, there's always been a way of sort of making it happen, which I guess is not something that a lot of bands, well, not most bands don't have that kind of crossover of skills, I guess.
No,
because you know, if you've got that's it basically. It's a nice, and it suits this weird time where everything's kind of still up in the air a bit and nobody quite knows what's what.
Do you mean personally about the band or the world generally?
I don't know. I kind of.
I think that's perfect. Actually, just I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. No, I don't know. I need more time to think.
No, I think that's great. The sense of freedom
Yours?
can't.
No, I don't have good dreams.
I don't have good dreams.
I only tend to remember my really bad ones, so they are pretty bad. Because I think if you've heard really bad things or you've seen really bad things, it must because I've not actually at first hand watched someone die or anything like that, but hearing about, because I worked in the court for a long time, hearing about that, it's still like. So it kind of gets into you somehow.
That's being a kind of...
So that when you are feeling pretty bad yourself, I reckon all that comes out.
Yeah, but that's kind of...
I got really worried at one point because that's when I saw someone, because it was like not only was I having a bad time in real life, I was dreaming about horrible things.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a double whammy there. But I don't know. It's kind of I think. Do you remember dreams from when you were younger? Like certain dreams?
No, I have. My most.
They're brilliant, aren't they? Well, you can actually think they were like real life. Like, well, you kind of think of them as being like as valuable as like a memory from when you were young.
Mine was so specific. Though.
Yeah, mine was as
my
well.
real nightmare from being a child was having and it's almost, I'm pretty sure Dave Lynch has done.
Dave Lynch, do you know that well?
No, I said I can't remember which film it is, but it's a really scratchy needle on vinyl.
Yeah.
From top down.
Yeah.
Like a light coming from here, so it's quite a kind of scratchy sort of light on a scratchy vinyl. The record's going round and round and round, and then it's interspersed with being in a kind of not a maze, but like a hedgerow sort of
that sounds a bit like
space, and being chased down by something. And not
Gareth, that's a bit like mine when I was 8.
And it would just literally cut between that and then the vinyl, and then that, and then the vinyl. It just scares me.
My one that was a recurring dream when I was younger was that I'd get eaten by wolves, and my mum and dad had to take out the Pinocchio book out my room because I was so scared of the wolf and the Pinocchio book I couldn't sleep with it. But I'd be chased by wolves, and then when it got to a certain age, so like 15, 16, then it turned to sharks, and still to this day I still have dreams like being in water with sharks. But the wolves one always started, or a nightmare when I was younger, always started with, the MGMT lion, I've told you this before, the MGMT lion,
MGMT, the band.
Oh no, MGM, sorry. And the lion would bite my arm. My arm would be in the lion, and it would bite. And I always remember feeling like, okay, right, we've got a nightmare coming on now. And I kind of except I've been it hurting, I'd be like, okay, I'm ready for this. Here's the nightmare coming on. It was like that would be the beginning of the thing. And the one in particular that was recurring, I'd get chased around garden centres by wolves. And I drew, and I've seen it back at school. My school books up in the loft. I've got all these. What happened to you last week? And it's just me just drawing pictures of being chased by wolves in garden centres. And my teachers must have thought, what the hell are these parents putting him torturing him? And I don't think it's made clear that it's a dream. It's just like, what did you do last week? It was just me drawing pictures. But yeah, it's wolves and sharks, and I looked up, and it just means you've got I don't know. Well, I don't know. You should believe dream readers.
It's like you don't agree with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
What did it say?
It was danger, or like some kind of you're afraid of something coming or something. I don't know.
Brilliant. That's a really good
yeah. Wow. You see a shark? Wow.
That's helpful.
No, sharks don't mean money or anything like that. That wasn't a fart, by the way.
For the record. For the benefit of the tape.